Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. First of all, I want to thank our leader for bringing this forward. I want to thank her for her service to our country. I want to thank my very dear friend, the General from Riverside County. I want to thank him for his service, and all of you that have served in the military, and certainly your relatives that have served in the service. Please let them know how much people like myself, and I know I speak for the entire body, appreciates their defending our liberties and freedoms. I'd like to just share with you a quick story. I'm a native Californian. My parents got married very early. My mom got married 2 days before her 17th birthday, my dad around 20. And they moved to the Cheviot Hills area in an apartment on Palm Drive, I think maybe in Senator Allen's district. And their next door neighbor was an Italian couple, Mary and Joseph Pernice. And they developed a tremendous friendship, and Mary and Joe decided to move from Los Angeles to this new suburb of Los Angeles called Anaheim, 5 miles from Disneyland, and bought what was called then a Cinderella home, a 3-bedroom house, 1,050 square feet, $15,000 back in 1956, 57. Well, my parents loved Mary and Joe, and they moved to go to Anaheim to be next door neighbors to them, and that's where I spent my childhood, in Anaheim, California. And I had a very strong affection for Joe and Mary, especially Joe. We commonly called them Uncle Joe and Aunt Mary, and they had 3 kids, Joe Jr., Richard Pernice, now who lives up in the Napa area, and Maria Pernice, the youngest of the 3. But as I was growing up, Joe never talked about the military. I knew he was patriotic. He always flew the flag on Memorial Day, Veterans Day, God bless you. And as time went on, my parents moved from Anaheim to Murrieta Hot Springs, and Mary and Joe followed. It's kind of unbelievable. They've been like family all of our lives. And then as Mary and Joe were getting older, they moved to Claremont to be closer to their kids. And I was made aware of a story. So Joe was a World War II veteran. And about 8 years ago, a French citizen was using a metal detector on the beaches of Normandy and found a dog tag. And it said Joseph Pernice on it, and turned it over to the French government. And the French government wanted to make sure they knew who this Mr. Joe Pernice was. And they wanted to see if he was still alive. And what we later found out was that Joe was on the beaches of Normandy and was blown up, survived, and went to a military hospital in Germany for a number of months, and then flew home to be with his wife. And if that wasn't enough, he re-enlisted back and fought in the Battle of the Bulge after almost losing his life. The French government tracked him down and flew him and his son first class on Air France to Paris to recognize him and give him the highest honor that a non-citizen of France could ever get for heroism and bravery. This shows you the kind of dedication to freedom and democracy that existed in the greatest generation of all. There's no question that the D-Day invasion was a turning point in the World War II war. Without it, the continent of Europe may be German-speaking today, and a power for which we need to be concerned about. So, my friends, as we recognize this very important day, I want to just pay tribute to all those men and women that gave their lives on the beaches of Normandy. There were many of whom were sitting ducks as they fled that beach after the seas were so rough coming in from England. Many of them got off those transporters sick from just being seasick. But without their heroism and without this invasion, we would not, I believe, have succumbed in defeating fascism and communism and the dastardly, heinous crimes of Adolf Hitler that had a devastating effect on my family. So in honor of all the men and women that courageously have served, and especially those that served in the greatest generation, I proudly stand and request your support of SCR 53. And may I also add in honor of my Uncle Joe. May he rest in peace, and thank you for your service, Uncle Joe, to your service to this country and allowing us to live with the freedoms and liberties we cherish today. God bless you.